everyone, we're going to find the derivative of the function using the chain rule. And what I'm going to do with this one is also use the product rule. And what I mean by that is I'm going to take this equation and rewrite it as r times r squared plus 1 to the negative 1/2. Because this right here can be written as r squared plus 1 to the 1/2 power. And then if you move it to the numerator, you have to use the negative exponent. So that's what I'm going to do. And then I'm going to use the product rule. So let's rewrite that. So it's y equals r times r squared plus 1 to the negative 1/2 power. All right, so for the product rule, we're going to get y prime equals, and you're going to take your r, your first term, r, times the derivative of this using the chain rule. So this is going to be times negative 1/2 times r squared plus 1 times negative 3/2, and then you take the derivative of the inner function, which is 2r. And I'll do that. Notice that these r's will cancel. All right, now then you use plus, and then we're going to copy down our second term, which is r squared plus 1 to the negative 1/2 times the derivative of r, which is just 1. And then we just simplify. And the main thing you need to know about this is I have an r squared, all right, and that when we factor something out, it has to be common to both of these sets. And we have the r squared plus 1, r squared plus 1. So if you had x squared plus x to the 6th, you could factor out an x squared, and that would be 1 plus x to the 4th. So we factor out our smallest exponent. Our smallest exponent is this one. So you factor that out, and that's going to equal r squared plus 1 to the negative 3/2. All right, so we factor that out. Then what we're left with this first part is just r squared, negative r squared, because we have this negative. So negative r squared. And then we have plus. Now for this one, when you multiply, you're just going to get r squared plus 1 to the first power. When you multiply these two, that's going to give you this part. All right? Okay, so that's like saying x to the negative 3/2 times x to the 3, this would be 2/2, because 1 is really 2 divided by 2, and that gives you x to the negative 1/2. All right, so now that you have that, we have a 1 there. So now all we have to do is simplify this part, and this is just going to be, these two cancel, and you just get 1. So our final answer is just going to be r squared plus 1 to the negative 3/2 times 1. And that all equals y prime equals r squared plus 1 to negative 3/2. And if you can't use negative exponents, that would be 1 divided by r squared plus 1 to the 3/2. Or you could write it as 1 divided by, that's your root, so that would be square root of r squared plus 1, and then that would be cubed. That's your power. And that's it. Thank you. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.